Imagine buying your phone with 3 chickens, half a cow, and an awkward hug. Welcome to Grug's economy. Before money, his village used pure chaos. You didn't pay for stuff, you argued for it. 2 bananas for that spear. No, 3 bananas, and you laugh at my joke. What if I give you 1 banana now, 1 later, and eternal respect? By the time they finished negotiating, the spear was rusty, the fish had rotted, and everyone hated each other. Grug watched this every day and thought, if we keep trading like this, we will go extinct. From drama, not dinosaurs. He didn't want to be broke, angry, and confused for the rest of his life. So he asked the most dangerous question in economics. What if we just make something up and all pretend it's valuable? And that's the moment money began loading in the background. Grug went to the river, looked around, and said, free stuff. Everywhere. Perfect. He picked a few flat, smooth stones. They didn't taste good. They couldn't stab mammoths. They were aggressively useless, which made them perfect for currency. He marched back to the village like a startup founder with a bad idea and unlimited confidence. Listen up. New system. These shiny river rocks are now magic value tokens. You trade rocks, not bananas, no more drama. Everybody. Why we trade precious meat for dumb rock? Grug. Because everyone agrees these rocks matter. Value is not in rock. Value is in your head. They stared. Then 2 hunters tested it. Hunter A traded meat for 5 rocks. Hunter B used those same 5 rocks to buy a warm fur. When they realized the rock moved and value moved with it, their brains melted. The rock still did nothing, but now it was money, because enough monkeys decided to believe the lie. News spread fast. Grug's magic river stones can buy anything. The next morning, the village looked like a crypto bull run. Everyone sprinted to the river to mine their own RockCoin. At first, a spear cost 3 rocks. By noon, it was 10. By sunset, 1 spear was your entire backpack of rocks, plus emotional support. Even children had pockets full of wealth. Dogs probably had portfolios. Grug stared at mountains of stones and realized, oh, I accidentally invented too much money. When everyone can create currency by just bending down and picking it up, your economy turns into a clown show. So he posted the first emergency patch notes. RockCoin 2.0 update. Only rare rocks count now. Smooth, round, shiny, ugly rocks equals worth as much as your opinion. Congrats, Grug. You have unlocked inflation and premium currency in the same day. Rare rock coins solved 1 problem and created 5 new ones. The richer people got, the slower they walked. They waddled around with 40 shiny stones in their belts, sounding like maracas every step. Sleeping on a pile of rocks felt rich, but also like chiropractic self-harm. People worried, what if someone steals my rocks while I'm out hunting? Grug smiled the way only a future banker can. He pointed at his big cave. I keep your rocks safe. I am responsible, serious, and definitely not planning anything. So they dumped their treasures into his cave. In return, he gave them receipts, bones with numbers scratched on them. These bones are as good as rocks, he said. You can trade the bone. Whoever holds it owns the rocks inside my cave. And just like that, the village stopped moving actual stones. They traded little symbols representing stones instead. This was the birth of banking and paper money, powered entirely by trust in 1 hairy dude who still couldn't spell his own name. One young hunter visited Grug and said, I want big house cave, but I only have 2 rocks. Past Grug would have said, too bad, go hunt. New banker Grug smelled opportunity. What if, he said slowly, I give you 10 rocks now, and you promise to return 11 later? The hunter blinked. So I buy cave with rocks I don't have yet? Exactly, Grug grinned. Welcome to the future. Soon everyone was doing it. Rock loan for new spear. Rock loan for bigger cave. Rock loan for totally unnecessary luxury fur. The village looked richer than ever. New homes, new tools, new nonsense. Behind Grug, though, a wall of promises grew higher. Bones scratched with things like, Uga owes 30 rocks. Tribe Clown owes 100 rocks and 1 public apology. On paper, everyone was wealthy. In reality, most of that wealth existed only as hopes and handwriting. Congratulations, Grug. You've discovered credit, interest, and the subtle art of future panic. Just when you thought it couldn't get dumber, someone shouted, I found a super rare rock in the hills. It always goes up in value. Trust me. Nobody asked for evidence. They just heard the magic words, rare and up in value. Suddenly, everyone wanted the legendary hill rock. They bought it not to use it, but to sell it later to another idiot for more rocks. Stones near that hill tripled in price overnight. Cavemen bragged, I don't need bananas, I have assets. Grug watched in horror as rock prices left reality and went into space. Then a child picked up the famous rock, scrubbed it with a leaf, and revealed it was normal. The special glow was just bird poop. Overnight, the magic died. Nobody wanted investment rocks anymore. Prices crashed harder than a badly thrown spear. People lost caves, tools, and patience. The village had survived the world's first economic bubble, also known as the Oops, My Rocks crisis. After the crash, everyone distrusted weird, shiny stones. They lie, they said. They pretend to be special. Then one nerdy caveman said, What if we use rocks you can't see? The crowd. You mean no rocks? Exactly, he smiled. Only numbers on wall. No one can touch it, but everyone agrees it's real. At first, they laughed. Then they remembered they had already agreed that useless rocks were valuable. How much worse could imaginary rocks be? So they drew a big table on a cave wall, names on the left, numbers on the right. Whenever someone paid, they just changed the number next to the names. No rocks moved, just chalk dust and anxiety. Grug stared at the wall, exhausted. We started by trading bananas, he muttered. Now we trade edits. But the system worked. Faster, lighter, more insane than ever. Accidentally, they had built the alpha version of digital currency, spreadsheets, and maybe crypto using nothing but a stone and a very bad idea. One quiet night, Grug sat on a hill overlooking his village. Under him, a cave full of rocks that nobody touched anymore. On the wall, numbers that made some people feel rich and others broken. He thought about the journey, from trading fish for bananas, to worshipping river stones, to fighting over imaginary units. He realized something brutal. Money never swung a club, rocks never lied, numbers never begged to be important. People did. It wasn't the stones, it was the stories around them. Stories of fear, envy, power, and I want more than you. Grug picked up one last shiny rock and threw it into the river. It's just a rock, he said softly. Value is the costume we put on it. He turned to the invisible camera, a flat rock he always pretended was watching, and added, So if you're stressed about numbers in a glowing rectangle, remember, we invented this game. We can also decide how to play it. Or, he smirked. You can always go back to trading bananas for compliments.